Welcome to the Artist Series, featuring creative and performing artists and educators from around the world. With your hosts, Lilia Fontana, founder and executive directrix of Firehouse Projects, and Kirk Whipple and Marilyn Morales, pianists, composers, educators, and founders and directors of the Unconservatory and Cranberry Coast Concerts.
Our dear friend who's now living in Taos, New Mexico. She has a new album out of original songs, Hazel Ketchum.
Yay! Hi. Hola! Hi. Hola.
So you have a new album out, Mutiny. Could you please tell our viewers what inspired this?
I turned 60, actually I'm 61, but upon my 60th birthday I decided I wanted to have a project. So this was the project, and the idea was to record the album during my 60th year, sometimes on our travels, but just sometimes at home. So it's a completely homemade recording to celebrate my 60th year. We did get it done, just 61, just a little bit. So, we got it almost done right in the nick of time.
That's just a number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say 60. No way, girl. You look too young.
And I would say we've been listening to some selections from it, and it's recorded beautifully. Mm-hmm. Not just your singing and the instruments, but the quality of the recording is delicious.
I'll mention that to Bob Culver, who also plays on the album. He's the crooked tune part. He did the majority of the recording and mixing and mastering.
Let's listen to a clip from Hazel's new album right here.
Warm fires burning, lights are low. You are on the mountainside, and I am down below. The skeptics will tell you it's a dangerous place, but on closer inspection, we all just look the same. And a smile will get you far when you're lost and far from home. Cuando estamos en lugares peligrosos.
Hey, you've been traveling a lot in the past few years. And I know that was so awesome, the dangerous places. And I know that you wrote that in Ecuador. Can you tell us what was your inspiration for the song and the instrumentation?
Sure.
Talk to us a little bit about it.
We traveled to Ecuador. We were just thinking about that the other day. I think it was the summer of 22. We went to visit a friend of ours. Well, actually, we wound up making several friends along the way. And one of them was Diego Carnero. He's a fabulous cellist. He's also a Peace Fellow for the Rotary. And he travels all over the world. And we just happened to meet him in North Carolina. He was coming through and he was telling people about finding instruments for his youth orchestra down in Quito. And someone said, well, you should meet Hazel because she does the same thing in the Appalachian Mountains. She finds fiddles and banjos for students there. So we wind up meeting, and all this time we had already planned to go to Ecuador for a month. We get to Ecuador, and ends up the place we had rented was a block from Diego's house, and we didn't know it. So we wound up playing with his orchestra, teaching them about Appalachian music and dance, and we traveled all over. And this theme, when we were getting ready to go, everyone kept asking us, is it safe to travel there? Is it going to be dangerous? Do you think it's dangerous? And we kept saying, well, of course not. What are you talking about? And then they had some uprising there at that time, and it actually did become a little dangerous in that we were wondering if we could even travel there. They had closed the airport for a little bit. And I kept talking to Diego on the phone, and I'd say, well, but you're sitting in a cafe, everything's fine, right? He goes, yeah, it's fine right here, but things are, it's pretty crazy. So we delayed our flights a little bit, and we decided, okay, we're going no matter what. Now we're just going. So we fly into Quito, and there were roadblocks into the city. We, like ran to the store. We thought we might be sort of in a lockdown. And the day after we got there, everyone made their agreements and everything opened up. And then it was a big party because everyone was celebrating and we played lots of concerts. And so it really had us thinking about what is dangerous, right? Even though it was a little bit, there was some upheaval, we didn't feel scared or that we were in danger. But then Bob, my husband, we traveled for him to climb one of the big volcanoes, Cayambe. And so I was in this very, very beautiful house staying, and I could see Cayambe, Imbabura, and Cotacachi. And he had already climbed Imbabura, and he was going to climb Cayambe. And that really is dangerous, right? He was going over glaciers, and he was gone for 24 hours during that process. He had a guide. There's not a lot of oxygen. He was really doing something dangerous. So that got us thinking about the dangerous places. So I wrote that song while he was up on the mountain.
I feel like I should have made some
Wow.
popcorn for this movie. That's very exciting stuff.
I know. I was like, oh my God, what
Yeah.
happened? Was
What's
it a
next?
coup?
Yeah, me
Was it a
too.
coup in Ecuador?
He did fine. He climbed, he made it to the top of the mountain. Then, as you asked about some of the instruments, while we were there, we bought bandolins. It's 10 strings with triple sets of strings. So, like mandolins are 2 strings together, and this has 3 strings together.
It's a very
And
rich
that's
sound.
yeah, you hear that sound at the very beginning. And then we also got a requinto, which is it's like a classical guitar in A, so it's small. And we purchased both of those from the maker in Ecuador. And then the other instrument that takes little solos throughout, well, there's an accordion, which you probably recognize, and then a quattro, which
We saw you buy in
Yeah,
Miami.
Yeah.
That's right. I got it in Miami, and Kirk and Marilyn had to help us some translation, and we went and found that fabulous instrument.
Also, too, you have 2 cover songs on the album, Silver Dagger and Swing Back and Down. Could you tell us where those songs came from, the inspirations?
The Swing Back and Down is a song by Eric De La Pena, and he plays in a band called Kill Henry Sugar, and also another band called Hazmat Modine. And they all sort of work out of New York and Brooklyn. And we sort of became fans of his when he came through with Kill Henry Sugar to Charleston. And I just get a phone call. I'm at my music studio that was a little music school there in Charleston, South Carolina. And we get this random phone call that the backup band for Joan Baez was also a duo, and they were looking for a place to play a concert. And I said, I knew she was traveling through town. I said, yeah, absolutely. Have them come play a concert. So we became big fans of Kill Henry Sugar. Their music was just so interesting. And so when they visited, Eric was really interested in the lute, which I happened to play. So he was like, oh, you play the lute? And we were swapping stories, and I was showing him the lute and how it was played, and played some songs. So I knew there were about 3 songs of theirs that we wanted to cover, and that one just sort of fit the lute. And so we just put it on the lute. And the thing I love about it, it's kind of this, workers like swinging a hammer, kind of, swing back and down, do your job, do your job. And so to have it on the lute with this really different arrangement, it was really fun to do. And Eric was really sweet and enjoyed it. It sounded like a Elizabethan ballad.
We're listening to the cuts. Lily I remember she said, this makes me feel it's kind of like Shakespearean somehow.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, that's the instrument that, was played in Shakespeare's time. So I'm glad that it had sort of that combo of
Yeah.
Brooklyn, New York, and Shakespearean England. I don't know how to put them together.
How can people get your music, download your music, buy your music, share your music? Tell us all about that.
It's available on most platforms like Spotify and Tidal for those who like, a little bit titles of similar to Spotify, but it apparently has a better sound quality. It's on YouTube and probably Apple Music and all of those things as well. Then I'll be putting it on my website, hazelketchum.com, and that way people can also just access it for free. My other albums, Big as the World and Say Darlin' Say, that are family albums, are also on all those platforms too. And a loop, if you want to really just hear the Elizabethan stuff, you can find that just under my name, Hazel Ketchum.
Fantastic. This gives me an opportunity to say what you're talking about, the different platforms. As recording artists ourselves, there's all of these platforms, and of course the biggest ones, Spotify and all these, tend to favor the artists with millions and millions of fans, and they make all kinds of cash with it, whereas many independent artists, the majority, don't exactly make mountains and mountains of cash out of this, but it's important for all of us to get our music out so that people can hear it. And we like to say that if people want to support independent artists, they can check out firehouseprojects.org, FIREHAUS projects.org, where people can make nonprofit donations which support things like this, us presenting many different artists from all kinds of genres.
And
Subscribe, exactly. Subscribe to Hazel, subscribe to Firehouse Projects. And in this digital age, we have to help each other and get the word out.
Yeah, the other thing is that, for everyone, if you listen to a piece, make a comment or go like, because that helps us and helps you.
Definitely.
It's very important.
Kurt, you had asked about another one of the covers, Silver Dagger, and I thought we'd mention that because that's inspired by my sister Katie Ketchum. We had the great opportunity to all play together a couple of years ago. They're in Miami, and I know you guys are good friends. So Katie, of course, was my big musical inspiration. I'm not gonna cry. Well, get all choked up. She was my big musical inspiration. She was my piano teacher and would sing to me all the time. She got me into my conservatory theory, so she did all those things. And she had this one Joan Baez record, and it was kind of the greatest hits or the quintessential one. And she also had the Joan Baez book. So as I learned guitar, that song was really, I heard it a lot, I would sing it a lot. So I knew I wanted to record it, but it was very difficult to rearrange that song because Joan Baez's arrangement is so good and her guitar playing is so good, and it was almost impossible not to just copy it, So we were up in Northern California, and it was one of the places that we did some recording just in a house. And we were near the Lost Coast Trail, so very remote. So I took my guitar down and I tuned it to Dadgad, which is a sort of alternate tuning on guitar, and just started messing around with it. And before you know it, we had this very different arrangement. And some of my friends were like, "Oh yeah, we can hear Joan Baez's influence in your singing." But I take the guitar part in another direction, and then Bob plays the National Steel guitar with that.
And thanks for the opportunity to give people a very brief musical lesson. When she said Dad, the usual tuning for guitars is from the top down, E, B, G, D, A, E. Now, that tuning brings the top string down a whole step to D, the B string down to an A, and then you have the G, and then you have the D string and the A string, but the low E string goes down to a D, and which also kind of creates a warmer sound because those strings are a little bit, some of the strings are detuned. Yes?
Yeah. A lot of Irish players use it. A lot of fingerstyle players use it. It's really common for guitar players to use a lot of different tunings, especially all metal National Steel guitar. We play in open G tuning, a D tuning, actually rarely in regular E tuning because the instrument just doesn't support going up that high. So that's fun.
So, I mean, what's cool for me as a composer, I know about alternate tunings, but this is the first time I hear someone just rip off Dag Dad. And, and immediately in the guitar community, people will just click on that. But I thought it kind of interesting to know for people who want to explore that. There's the mechanics of it in a nutshell. So grab your friend's guitar and check it out.
Right, because there's a lot of, it's really different playing in that tuning. And so there's some things that are really adaptive to it too, like playing a D chord in a DADGAD tuned guitar takes one finger.
Yeah.
So you can make a lot of music using one finger or a slide on your finger. You don't need all this dexterity necessarily to make some amazing sounds.
So like for metal players, they could just hang onto that one string and run all over the stage and make all kinds of noise with that one chord, right?
Exactly. Even less work than when they make a power chord and run all
right.
around. Right? They get it just open tuned, yeah. Which a lot of them did as well. So,
well, see, so we're not just having fun with artists, but this is actually educational today too.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Hazel, it's been a joy and a delight to see you and to
when are you coming
check
back
out
to
your music.
Miami?
Yes, your room awaits.
I know. I need some ocean time now because I'm living in the desert.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you and Katie got my mom convinced to get inside the water. That was amazing. That was really amazing.
That was wonderful.
And I know she had a great time in the concert that day. She still talks about it.
We're running out of time, so before we go, though, we want to make sure that people follow the links here in the video to Hazel's music. Please share, please like, and please support artists all over the world.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hazel. We'll see you soon.
You.
We hope.
Bye, Hazel.
Bye.
Yes.